Do it. Welcome into the Davis Event Center for tonight's matchup between the Holmes Bulldogs and the ICC Lady Indians. We're getting ready to take you to the floor for the starting lineup from ICC as the visitor starters are being presented to us right now. Visitor starters presented by Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works. For Holmes tonight, they will start Jordan Manning, a 5'9 guard, a freshman out of Canton High School in Canton, Mississippi. Jemiah Red, a 5'6 freshman out of Canton. So 2 freshmen out of Canton will be in the starting lineup tonight for Holmes. She, too, is a guard. Gabrielle Bunch, a 5'9 freshman out of Laurel, Northeast Jones High School. She will be the third guard, in the set for Holmes. At the 4 spot will be Brysa Maxwell, a 5'9 sophomore out of Ackerman, Choctaw County High School. Maxwell is the only sophomore on the roster, and she'll draw the start tonight as the power forward. And the center in the starting lineup is Jalecia Smith, a 5'9 freshman, a center, again out of Canton. So 3 starters out of Canton High School as freshmen tonight for the Holmes Lady Bulldogs. They come into the year at 7-9, 3-2 in division, and they are coached by Jemiah Johns Andrews. We'll now take you to the floor for the ICC starting lineup, brought to you by Coke. And that is the ICC starting lineup brought to you by Coke. To run those down once again, Zuri Dunlap, a 5'3 freshman guard out of Hernando High School. At the shooting guard spot will be Whitney Watkins. She leads the team with over 12 points per game, a sophomore out of Decatur, Alabama. The 3 spot will belong to Zaire Burgess, a 5'9 freshman out of Lafayette County High School. Burgess will start as the small forward. Sarah Freelow will be the power forward, a sophomore out of Tupelo at 5'9". And rounding out the starting lineup will be Keely Wilson, a 5'10 sophomore out of Horn Lake High School in Olive Branch, Mississippi. The Indians, coming off their first division loss of the year last Thursday night at East Mississippi, come into the night at 12-3, 4-1 in division. They are assisted by Andrea Adams, and the head coach is Robin Porter. Let's welcome Jim Ingram into the broadcast booth tonight here inside the Davis Event Center, the ICC Alumni and Affairs Foundation broadcast booth. For more information on how you can help contribute to ICC, visit iccms.edu/foundation. Jim, got a good one in store for us here tonight inside the DEC.
Looking forward to it, Jordan. Glad to be with you again on this Monday night. Interesting that Holmes Lady Bulldogs have 3 freshmen from Canton High School playing again together.
That is the First American National Bank opening tip. Remember to follow the flag from Iuka to Tupelo. Find the nearest First American National Bank location near you, celebrating 55 years of customer-driven, community-focused banking. As an opening possession turnover for ICC, we'll give the basketball to Holmes. Holmes in their all black jersey, black shorts, black shoes, and the numerals in maroon, the writing on the jersey in white. ICC in the home grays with the red lettering. And you know, Jim, one thing I like about both of these teams is you look at the Holmes team, you look at the ICC team, everyone on the floor has the same exact matching shoes on.
I like that.
A uniform look. Don't see it very much. As a good rebound by ICC. They drive the basketball down the floor with Keely Wilson. Wilson's shot will not go. Kicked out wide to Whitney Watkins, and she drives home the first basket of the night. A 3-pointer out of the hands of Whitney Watkins.
Nice start for the Lady Indians. Good rebound underneath. Whitney got the 3-pointer. Set it up, put it in. 3-0 Lady Indians early in the first period. 9 minutes left in the first period. Playing the Lady Bulldogs from Holmes Community College.
Watkins shoots it from the field at about 43%, but shoots it 40% from the field behind the arc. So she's been just as good behind the three-point line as she's been inside it so far on the year. A foul down low on ICC. That'll be the first one against Keely Wilson, and Holmes will inbound the basketball under the goal, but we will have a substitution as we'll see Shamaria Overton check onto the floor. She'll bring off Keely Wilson. That substitution brought to you by the ICC BSU. Follow them on Twitter at ICC BSU. Inbound pass from Holmes goes to a wide open Jalecia Smith, but she cannot handle it. Basketball comes down the floor in transition, missed by Dunlap, but Burgess right there to clean it up, puts it up, and the offensive rebound translates into 2 points for Zaire Burgess.
Jordan, good rebound early in the game for the Lady Indians, up 5-0, 8:30 left in the first period.
Lady Indians going to have to look for some production on the floor tonight as their starting point guard will not dress out for the Indians tonight. Battling a little bit of an illness is Tabria Gandy. So they're looking to make up for that production on the floor, not only on the offensive end, Jim, but she does just as much on the defensive end, and specifically in the rebounding column at only 5'3" as really anybody you'll find.
She's the leader of the team, offense and defense, and we're missing her tonight. Good start, though, for the Lady Indians. Got another foul, though. I believe Burgess picked up her first.
So we'll see Mariah Holland check onto the floor for the first time tonight. She'll sub off Burgess. So Coach Robin Porter, as soon as we saw Wilson and Burgess pick up a foul, she's taking them immediately to the bench, trying to make sure she keeps that foul trouble managed properly. Holmes tries to go down low. Pass intercepted by Mariah Holland as they overshot the post player. Now ICC pushes the ball up the floor in a hurry, but too many steps from Zuri Dunlap. A turnover will give it right back to Holmes. And, you know, that'll be something interesting to watch is anytime you don't have a point guard on the floor, it can take some time to try to find your rhythm offensively. And no doubt through the first couple of minutes here tonight, we've seen ICC kind of fill that out a little bit. You're
right, Jordan, because we don't have the leader out there at point guard. Some of the other ladies having to take certain positions, certain ways to handle the ball they're not used to.
Jemiah Red controlling the offense for Holmes. Going to kick inside there, driving the paint for a left-handed layup. Jalecia Smith, one of those freshmen out of Canton, Mississippi. And that puts Holmes in the scoring column. A 5-2 lead for ICC at the 7:40 mark remaining in the first quarter. Whitney Watkins straight on three off the back iron is no good. So 1 of 2 behind the arc so far on the night for Watkins as fight for the basketball. Nice hustle there by Sarah Freelow to try to save it before it goes out of bounds. But they say it does go off the ladies in gray, and it'll be Holmes basketball, trailing by 3 points with 7:30 to go in the first quarter. Half-court man-to-man defense from the Lady Indians. The ball goes off on the wing, back to Red, top of the key. She'll dribble drive floater from about 10 feet. No good, too hard off the back iron, and rebound controlled by Overton. Overton out in transition, one-on-one, fights off the right side and lays it in off the right side. A Renaissance bank shot there from Shamaria Overton, and she takes it coast to coast and finishes it herself.
Unbelievable. I thought she was out of control. She was going all the way for the layup and banked it in. Good job.
That gives the Indians back a 5-point lead at the under 7 mark as Holmes for three. First three-point bucket of the night is picked up by Gabrielle Bunch off the near side wing here right in front of us. She drills home a three and gets Holmes back to within 2.
7-5, 6:40 left in the first period. ICC Lady Indians up by 2.
Watkins open for three again, thinks better of it, drives it to the free throw line, puts up a shot, no good off the corner, and rebound controlled by the Bulldogs. Now Bulldogs 3-on-2 in transition. Nice pass comes up the floor, and it easily could have been a walk, but they're going to say a missed shot followed by a foul as Jalecia Smith missed the layup. But a nice job of getting the offensive rebound, and then as the rebound was taken, and they go back up for the putback, Zuri Dunlap gets an arm in there and will be called for a foul. So we'll see Overton and Dunlap come off the floor for the Indians. Checking back in will be Keely Wilson, and also for the first time tonight, Tatiana Normant come onto the floor. Those substitutions brought to you by the Bank of Okolona. Visit bankofokolona.com. Jordan Manning
hit the first one.
To the charity stripe. First one up and good. She'll get another. A chance to tie the game at 7 apiece. Free throws up. It is good, and we're back all square at 7 apiece. You know, scoring has come at a premium at times this year for Holmes, Jim, as we see Holmes go into that 1-2-2 zone, try to trap the basketball. Smart coaching decision as the point guard Gandy not out there to attack and make some ladies that aren't as used to handling the basketball try to break the press. As ICC gets a couple good looks at the basket, can't drive it home. And now Keely Wilson will keep it at the top of the key. But as we talk about Holmes, only averaging 56.7 points per game, shooting at under 35%. They've struggled definitely on the offensive end. Sarah Freelow too hard, rebound controlled by Holmes. But that offense, that's definitely been a bit of a struggle at times for Holmes this year.
You know, they're very athletic, play good defense. They struggle offensively.
As that was Bunch again, wide open for three out of the corner, but misses everything. Rebound goes to ICC. Tatiana Normant on the near side wing, back top of the key to Whitney Watkins. Watkins back to Normant. Now Normant back to Watkins. Swings across the floor to Wilson. Wilson in low to Mariah Holland. Holland goes up with it off the block and is fouled in the process. Nice job of getting the basketball down low. And picking up a foul was Mariah Holland as Jalecia Smith gets whistled for her first foul of the night. Onto the floor for the Indians will be Tamoya Brownlee. She'll sub off Sarah Freelow. So Freelow gets the first breather of the night. Those substitutions brought to you by the Kegel Eye Center. 862 Eyes to set up your appointment today as Mariah Holland goes to the charity stripe. First one for Holland is no good. As we've talked a good bit about in the weeks previously, one place that ICC would like to improve is there off the free throw line. Shooting it under 60% off the line now for the year. Holland's second one is up and good, so she splits 2 free throws and gives the Indians back a lead at 8-7. So a little bit of a press defense now from ICC as well. First time we've seen that tonight as Holmes is able to break it. Attacks it off the far side. Fadeaway jumper from about 8 feet is no good from Brysa Maxwell. Rebound controlled by Holmes, but they will say that Tania Jones traveled with the basketball as she came down with it, turns it over, and will give it back to ICC.
Good defense by the Lady Indians, forced her to travel with the ball. We've got a 1-point lead, 8-7, coming up on 5 minutes left in the first period.
So back into more of a 2-2-1 press here is Holmes trying to deny the basketball, and they do just that. They force a turnover almost as ICC's Shamoya Brownlee is able to get back to the basketball, but yet it is turned over. Now 2-on-1 in transition. Attacking off the right side is Brysa Maxwell, and Maxwell is able to finish the layup and give Holmes the first lead of the night at 9-8. Holland looking for somewhere to go with the basketball. Reverses the floor to Whitney Watkins. Now we'll see if Holmes settles back into more of a half-court man-to-man set as Watkins for 3 off the near side wing is too short, no good, and rebound goes to Holmes. But, Jim, you can obviously see without Gandy out there, ICC struggling with that press a little bit.
No doubt about it, and the Lady Bulldogs know to press this because our leader is not playing tonight.
Holmes controls the basketball in the half court, tries to get it to the free throw line, does just that. Now kicks into the corner, now shot completely over the goal by Brysa Maxwell, and Indians with the rebound. Brownlee to Watkins in the left side wing. Back to Shamaria Overton. Overton drives the lane and goes up. Good defense by Holmes. Shot goes straight up. The rebound by Mariah Holland is controlled. She goes up and is fouled in the shooting process. Brysa Maxwell, the only sophomore on the roster from Choctaw County High School, will get called for the personal foul. Her first of the night, third on the Lady Bulldogs, and that will send Holland back to the stripe. 1 of 2 on her last trip. She'll get back there for 2 more. First free throw from the left-hander is off the back iron, rolls around, no good. So now 1 of 3 off the line is Mariah Holland. Needs this one here to tie the game back up at 9 apiece. 9-8, Holmes leads, 4 minutes to play in the first quarter as the second free throw is up. Hit 2 off the back iron, no good, and rebound controlled by the Lady Bulldogs. Now quickly up the floor come Holmes. They kick back out, now settle into more of a 2-3 set as they find an open lady for 3 off the near side wing. Off the back iron, no good, but an offensive rebound by Gabriella Bunch, but she turns it over. Basketball goes to Tamoya Brownlee. Brownlee gets it to Normant, and now Normant tries to settle things down on the offensive end. ICC has struggled to get the basketball down low so far tonight, as have looked for a slasher as to try to find that with Tamoya Brownlee here. She does just that. Tatiana Normant drives it all the way to the logo with the right hand, hits the floater, and gets fouled in the process. Nice job there by Normant to drive the lane, Jim. Just as we said, ICC has struggled to get it down low. They do that very thing.
Good job of Norm. We saw her have a really good game last Monday night here at home, and she's got the athleticism and the quickness maybe to drive with the ball.
Lamaya Pfeiffer checks in after the foul for ICC. First time we've seen the freshman out of Independence on the night. That substitution brought to you by Joey Cox, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent. Call him at 862-9340 as the free throw 2 from Norman is good, and the Indians take back a 2-point lead with 3:18 to go in the first quarter. Dribble drive by Holmes. Crazy shot goes up. Rebounds fought for and controlled by Lamaya Pfeiffer as Gabrielle Bunch trying to do too much with it. Threw up a crazy shot. Had no chance of going in, and ICC looks to capitalize on the offensive possession. Dunlap, top of the key, kicks to Normant. Normant back to dribble drive. Passes out to the top to Shamaria Overton, and Overton for 3 from the top of the key is good.
Nice feed by Norman. Got the defense to come to her, and we nailed the 3. We're up by 5, 14-9, 2:45 left in the first period.
And there's Norman once again forcing the turnover. Good pass to Overton off the left side as she tries to lay it in off the left side, but does get fouled. And you can see, Jim, just as we saw last Monday night in that matchup, is that just as soon as Norman comes onto the floor, she's starting to make a lot of things happen for the Lady Indians.
Great energy. She's not afraid. Athletic, fast, making some plays.
ICC leads 14-9, 2:41 to go in the first quarter. Timeout is on the floor. We'll take that timeout as well. This is Lady Indian basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawama County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
(14-9), Lady Indians lead, 2:41 remaining in the first quarter as Shamaria Overton goes to the line for two. First one is up and good as that foul call went against Shawanda Gray. Gray, the 5'6" freshman out of Enterprise. That was her second foul, so she will probably be regulated to the bench for the remainder of this first half, I would imagine, due to foul trouble. As the second free throw is no good. ICC goes back into that press defense, trying to trap the basketball as Dunlap got a hand on it. Could not force it out anywhere else as back over into the corner to Bunch. Now to the elbow, trying to find a soft spot inside that bit of a zone as Shawanda Gray stayed in the game. She has the basketball in the near side corner, tries to fire one inside, and it's intercepted by Shamaria Overton. Overton drives right side. Beautiful pass down the lane to Zuri Dunlap, and Dunlap finishes with the right hand. Nice play out in transition for the Lady Indians.
Good play by the Lady Indians. Moves the lead to 8 points here. 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Largest lead of the night for ICC at 17-9. We're under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter, as you can really attribute a lot of this run that the Indians are on to Shamaria Overton and Tatiana Normant since they've come off the bench.
No doubt, the energy they brought.
3-point up for Holmes, no good off the back iron, as we saw Gabriella Bunch drove home her first 3-point shot of the night, but 0 for 3 since that one, as Normant pushes the ball out in transition, a little bit out of control as she fires one up, no good, but out of bounds off Holmes, and ICC will hold on to the basketball. So we'll see substitution for Holmes. For the first time tonight, Zanaya Bogan, 6'3" freshman from Shannon, Mississippi, so right here close in our area. Bogan comes onto the floor, the freshman. She'll be the center in under the goal, and she goes up for the block there, and I think they're going to get her for a foul.
They did.
We saw Tamoya Brownlee go up with the right hand. She got fouled, and we'll go to the charity stripe. So that's the 5th foul against Holmes here in the first quarter. 3 fouls for ICC, as ICC will shoot free throws the rest of the way out here in the first quarter. His first one from Brownlee is up off the right iron, no good. And again, Jim, just as we've talked about in weeks previous, the free throw line has just not been very kind to the Lady Indians. Second one, back iron, no good as well. So 0 for 2 off the stripe, that time for Brownlee. Holmes looks to break the press once again, as ICC has pretty much settled into this as their defense. Down the stretch here in the first quarter, off the elbow, open shot that time for Jordan Manning. Manning no good. Rebound was controlled by ICC, but it looked like Normant stepped out of bounds.
She did. Great energy, great rebound, just stepped out of bounds. We pushed the lead to 8, 17-9. Lady Indians up with 1:16 left in the first quarter.
Scarlett Guess onto the floor for the first time tonight for the Indians. Substitution brought to you by Coke, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics. Good defense off the inbound there by Shamaria Overton, making it tough for Holmes to get the basketball in. Now Manning for 3 off the near side wing, no good. Rebound goes to ICC's Brownlee. Brownlee to Normant. Now Normant controls the offense on the offensive side. Shamaria Overton as the point man. Kicks off left side to Scarlett Guess. Guess gets the ball inside to the elbow. Now Normant back with it. Controls and attacks off the right side. It went halfway down, no good. But there she is once again. Lamaya Pfeiffer doing exactly what she does so well. Getting in the right spot for the rebound. Controls it and puts it back up for 2 points. 10-point lead for the Indians. Under 35 seconds remaining in the first quarter. So about 11 seconds separate the shot clock and the game clock right here for Holmes. So have to have some urgency to the offense, but still have enough time to run any kind of half-court set you would want. An open 3-point shot there was available for Jemiah Red. She thinks better of it, goes right side to Morgan Williams, and Williams knocks out that 3-point bucket from straight on. So 10 seconds for the Indians. Into the half court, Tamoya Brownlee off the left side corner. She fires one up, no good. Rebound fought for, controlled by Holmes. Now 2 seconds. 1 second, a half court shot is up from the Lady Bulldogs. It is no good. and ICC will take a 7-point lead into the break between the first and second quarter. 19-12, ICC leads it after the first one. It'll be mass substitutions. When we come back, we'll reset that lineup for you right here inside the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. This is Lady Indian Basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
Attention all ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club members. You're invited to join us for the ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club Member Appreciation Night on Monday, February the 3rd. Members will get free admission to the Northeast Games, food and drink will be provided, and you'll be able to visit with ICC coaches and staff. Not a member of the Alumni Association or Indian Club yet? You're still invited to come be a part of the evening and sign up to become a member that evening as well. For more information or questions, call 662-862-8039. That's 662-862-8039.
You live life on your own terms. You won't be told what you can't do. And we're here to back you. From the boardroom to the big stage, Renaissance Bank supports women striving for success. Because greatness isn't held to anyone's expectations, except yours. So if anyone says you can't, prove them wrong. Rise with Renaissance, supporting women and the communities they influence every day.
Back here inside the Davis Event Center, North Division play inside the MACJC as ICC leads Holmes 19-12 after the first quarter. It's a good look at the basket for Holmes, but they get whistled for a travel, and that gives the basketball back to the Lady Indians. But, Jim, as we talk about the first quarter in a whole, it seems like it could be really defined about Holmes struggling to get in much of a rhythm on the offensive end.
You're right, Jordan. We played really good defense. They kept shooting long three-pointers. We want them to do that. That's why we got a good lead.
Keely Wilson, top of the key, controlling the offense for ICC. She kicks over to the right side to Zuri Dunlap. Dunlap finds Tatiana Normant for three out of the corner. It's in and out, not there. Rebound is fought for and controlled by Holmes. Here comes Gabrielle Bunch. She really was the source of the majority of the offense there in the first quarter for Holmes. She does lead the team, averaging over 12 points per game. She's got a wide open three from NBA range, no good off the front iron, but a wide open look. She drilled home two of those in the first quarter. That's going to be a double dribble against ICC as Wilson's coming down the floor. She dribbles it, hits it off her stomach, and dribbles it again. They're going to get you for that one just about every time. This Holmes team, as we mentioned in the first quarter, as Bunch has a shot off the logo, no good. Rebounds fought for, controlled. They're going to say a foul call. So they're going to get Zaire Burgess for a push in the back that time against Jalecia Smith. So Holmes will hold on to the basketball as we will reset that floor as we promised you we would, as Burgess will check off. Lamaya Pfeiffer comes on. Before the Indians, it's Whitney Watkins, Lamaya Pfeiffer, Sarah Freelow, Zuri Dunlap, as well as Keely Wilson on the floor.
Jordan, that was Burgess' second foul.
So it's two fouls on Burgess, who got thrown into the starting lineup a couple of weeks ago. As a crazy, wild shot gets thrown up in the air, that time's by Holmes, and Jordan Manning is able to get that one to go home and get the Lady Bulldogs back within 5 points. As on the floor for Holmes is Brysa Maxwell. Manning, as we just mentioned her, Shawanda Gray, Gabrielle Bunch, and Jalecia Smith. So that's the 5 on the floor for the Lady Bulldogs of Holmes. So we've reset the lineups for both teams. There's 10 seconds on the shot clock. Whitney Watkins near side corner trying to get it inside to Lamaya Pfeiffer. Pass can't get there. It's fought for, controlled now by Holmes into the half court. Bunch out of the near side wing, attacks the rim, and they're going to say before she got it there and finishes, it's going to be a traveling violation against Holmes, and a turnover gives it back to ICC.
Good defense that time by the Lady Indians. Sarah Freelow got in front of them, made her walk.
So again, Holmes trying to apply some pressure. Nice pass goes across the set to Whitney Watkins, an easy left-handed layup for Watkins. The sophomore out of Decatur, Alabama, goes back into the scoring column and gives ICC back that 7-point lead. And there she is on the defensive end, getting active and getting a hand in there, knocking it out of bounds right here in front of us, in front of the home bench.
Also right in front of her coach, Jordan. She's going to leave her in. She's
absolutely. Hey, get those arms there in the throwing lane. That's a good way to stay on the floor.
No doubt.
Nice entry pass again down low into the post to Brysa Maxwell, and Maxwell with the layup. I said the layup, using the glass off the near side there. Rattles that one home and gets it back to a 5-point game. So Keely Wilson kind of in control of the offense on that side of the floor for ICC as Watkins picks up her dribble, looks for somewhere to go, goes to Dunlap. Now Dunlap into the right side corner to Keely Wilson. Wilson crosses the set to Dunlap. Dunlap back into the left side corner to Watkins. Ball gets knocked loose, goes off of Holmes, and ICC will hold on to possession, but only 6 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
You're right, Jordan. 7 minutes left until halftime. 21-16, Lady Indians over the Lady Bulldogs.
Shamaria Overton onto the floor for ICC, and Jalecia Smith checks back on, subbing off Shawanda Gray. Gray on the floor for Holmes with 2 fouls. 3 seconds on the shot clock. It's not like Wilson recognizes it. She fires one up, gets it to go off the iron. Now Lamaya Pfeiffer with the offensive board, and she goes up and is able to finish as well. That is one thing Lamaya Pfeiffer has done so well, is she gets her hands on those offensive boards and is able to go up there and finish it. Jim, you look at Lamaya Pfeiffer's line for the year, she is shooting it from the floor at 74%.
That's pretty good. You can't make layups at 74%. Good job by Pfeiffer. Good hands also getting the ball.
And speaking of doing a good job on the offensive end, there's Jalecia Smith, who just subbed back onto the floor for the Lady Bulldogs. She's able to finish with one hand there. And every time ICC stretches it to more than 5 points, Holmes right there to answer back. Free low in the corner, kicks down low, and they see Pfeiffer, and she goes to work. Looked like possibly a foul there. Doesn't get called for it as Keely Wilson goes for the rebound, a whistle. And I believe that one will go against Holmes, as Pfeiffer had a good look at the goal and looked to be hit from behind, no call. As we'll see Mariah Holland subs onto the floor for ICC, taking off Sarah Freelow. That substitution brought to you by the Little Caesars of Fulton. Don't forget to download the Little Caesars app and frequent our friends there at Little Caesars of Fulton. As shot clock resets to 20 seconds, inbound pass comes from under the goal with Whitney Watkins. Watkins to top of the key to Shamaria Overton. As they had that one drawn up for Pfeiffer, they had her open again on the block, pass over shot, but a good pass as it comes back across the floor from Keely Wilson to Mariah Holland. Holland can't finish, but she is fouled.
Good job. Jalecia Smith got her second foul for Holmes Lady Bulldogs. 23-18, Lady Indians up by 5, 6 minutes left to halftime.
So second team foul of the quarter to go against Holmes, one against ICC as the Indians lead at 23-18, and Mariah Holland will go to the charity stripe. 1 of 4 off the free throw line so far tonight for Holland. She looks to pick up these 2 here. First one is up, and it is good.
Looked a lot better there.
So ICC has been able to stretch the lead to as much as 8 points tonight, as that free throw is no good. But typically we've sat right around the 5-point mark. Every time ICC has tried to expand it to more than 5, it's been an immediate answer by Holmes to cut it right back there. A 6-point lead here, 5:52 remaining in the first half for the Indians. 2-3 zone for ICC, leads open, a wide open 3, and they drill it home. Right there, Jemiah Red off the near side wing, or the far side wing as you look along on Let's Go ICC TV. She is able to drill home the 3, gets fouled in the process, and has an opportunity for the 4-point play.
You don't often see a possible 4-point play. Give Holmes credits, they've hung around. Now only down by 3, maybe 2 if she makes the free throw.
That's second foul to go against Keely Wilson, so presumably she will head to the bench as well. As a free throw by Red, it is up. And suddenly that 6-point lead is whittled all the way down to 2.
No doubt about it. Her first points of the game is a 4-point play.
A 2-2-1 zone set, trying to trap the basketball for Holmes. Get the basketball into the middle of the floor, kick it out to Whitney Watkins. And Watkins, you know, when she gets over there towards that wing and just a little bit of room, she can be deadly as a shooter.
She can nail it, no doubt about it. It's got 8 points to lead the Lady Indians.
Leads the team with 11.6 points per game. And she leads the Indians in scoring so far here tonight on this Monday night inside the Davis Event Center in Fulton. Pass all the way across. Now try to go inside with it, and they're going to say a kicked ball. Holmes will retain possession. They'll reset the shot clock to 20 seconds. It had worked its way all the way down to 14, but now the shot clock reset to 20 this year, new rule. They reset it there, and the inbounds pass will come from underneath the goal. Now an open look from a step inside the lane, or the 3-point line is no good for Holmes, and a rebound goes to the Lady Indians. Tatiana Normant gives off into the corner to Mariah Holland. Holland back to Watkins. You would expect them to guard Watkins a little bit better on the wing, as well as she shot it from there early on here tonight. As a good drive by Tatiana Normant is no good. And now a 2-on-1 in transition for Holmes. Holmes picked up the dribble there. Could have possibly been called for a double dribble with Jordan Manning. Nonetheless, though, she's able to regain the basketball and get her steps back in underneath her, and she forces one in off the right side.
2-point game, Jordan. 26-24. Lady Indians up with 4:25 left until halftime.
2-3 set as Lamaya Pfeiffer has the basketball on the stripe. Kicks out to Shamaria Overton. Overton for three. No good. Rebound is fought for, and they'll say it's off of ICC. It'll be controlled by Holmes. Good job there by Gabrielle Bunch to get in there and fight for it with Tatiana Norman. As substitutions for the Indians, see Tamoya Brownlee come onto the floor. She'll sub off Lamaya Pfeiffer. Substitution brought to you by Sonic of Fulton. Download the Sonic app for their app-only specials. That is Sonic of Fulton. 2-point lead for ICC, 4:13 remaining in the first half. And a beautiful drive down the lane for Jemiah Red. She had a wide open look with the left hand, cannot make it go down, and ICC controls the rebound. Zuri Dunlap for a three right in front of Holmes' bench. Shot is rejected. It's fought around and goes out of bounds off of Holmes, so ICC will hold on to the basketball. But that was a three-point look that was driven right down the throat there. As timeout is on the floor, we're under 4 minutes remaining in the first half. ICC leads 26-24. This is Lady Indian basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
That timeout was brought to you by the ICC Indian delegation, reminding you it's time to take a timeout and schedule a tour of ICC by visiting iccms.edu. 26-24, ICC leads, 3:56 remaining in the first half. As Jim, ICC has felt like they've been pretty much in control of the whole game, but a good job by Holmes. They've never let ICC get out of distance.
They hadn't, and they've been substituting freely. They've hit the boards better. That's why it's a 2-point game. 26-24, Lady Indians by 2.
ICC throws away the inbounds pass, but a nice job there by Shamaria Overton to get down the floor and pick it up. Now only 14 seconds on the shot clock as ICC goes into their half-court set. Brownlee, top of the key, kicks back to Dunlap. Dunlap to Overton. Now with 5 seconds on the shot clock, somebody's got to make something happen. Dribble drive there by Tatiana Norman, and a good job there of getting there inside the lane and finishing with her right hand. That's something that's been impressive to me about Norman, is she, not a very physical-looking presence, but is able to get there inside the lane and finish pretty freely.
No doubt about it. Good-looking jump shot. She's so quick she can get there. She's not afraid. Made a good-looking shot.
Nice pass goes down low for Holmes. Get it into the lane. Bunch kicks over a pass to Maxwell, and that may be one where Coach Andrews says, Gabrielle, you've got a good look at the rim there. Go ahead and take that one. Don't take that extra pass, as the extra pass threw off timing and forced a bad shot. And speaking of bad offense, ICC comes down the floor and throws one about 2 rows deep.
It happens. Got out of control there. 28-24. Lady Indians up with 3 minutes left at halftime.
So under 3 minutes inside the Davis Event Center. ICC a late change to the defensive set. Go back to that 1-2-2 full court press at the last minute as Zuri Dunlap defends the ball way out top of the key. ICC has changed up that defensive look a lot tonight as Holmes really making an effort to try to get the basketball in low here, whether it's with an entry pass, whether it's a dribble drive down in there. That time they get it in low, and a foul will go against Whitney Watkins. Third team foul of the second quarter, so no free throws as Holmes will inbound it right here underneath the goal. Entry pass comes to Brysa Maxwell. It's rattled around. Now comes all the way back out top. Three-point basket up and no good from Jordan Manning. Ball on the floor and fought for, and will be controlled by Mariah Holland for ICC. Holland forces it all the way up to Overton. Overton up the floor to Tamoya Brownlee. Now Brownlee in trouble. Pass is tied up, and they're going to say a travel. So it was tied up, and if she's coming to the floor, they're going to say she does have possession of the basketball, and it's going to be a travel that goes against Tamoya Brownlee. So basketball goes right back into the hands of the Holmes Bulldogs. ICC just not necessarily been careless with the basketball tonight, but not just done a very good job of taking care of it either. As dribble drive goes into the lane, and again, looked like it easily could have been a walk call against the Holmes Bulldogs, but they're not going to get them for it. And a layup off the glass, and once again, Holmes back to within 2 points. Three-pointer up from Whitney Watkins, no good. Long rebound comes all the way back out top to Zuri Dunlap, and ICC a chance to reset on the offensive end. Trying to get that ball in low, but just not been able to do it at will have been ICC. Now Dunlap, 10 seconds on the shot clock, drives, and they're going to say a blocking foul will go against Jemiah Red. Third team foul for Holmes, and that's the second foul for Red. So foul trouble again, starting to slip up a little bit for both teams, Jim.
No doubt about it. I believe Holmes has 3 ladies with 2 fouls, and we have 2 ladies with 2 fouls.
20 seconds resets the shot clock as Whitney Watkins inbounds the ball for the Indians. A little give-and-go pass. She thinks about it, thinks better of it. Now Overton takes it, dribble drive towards the logo, and they're going to get her a whistle on her shot. That foul will go, I believe, against Tania Jones. And they will get Tania Jones. So Jones, the freshman out of Holmes County Central, seeing some action off the bench. I'll get her for the foul, and that'll send Shamaria Overton to the line for the first time tonight. First free throw up and is good. But both teams, Jim, have done a very good job tonight of fighting through the foul trouble and really playing a lot of ladies on both sides.
No doubt, a lot of people. I'd say 9 or 10 ladies for both teams have played so far tonight.
Second free throw, no good. And this is something we can talk about as we recap the first half, but ICC leaving lots of points on the floor right there on the charity stripe. Again, it just feels like on the offensive end, ICC really wants to get the ball down low, but they're settling for a last-second drive and having to force something at the goal. If they don't get fouled, the offensive production has really been stalling out.
No doubt about it. Holmes hanging around, minute left until halftime. Holmes down by 3 to the Lady Indians.
Good physical defense by the Lady Indians. 15 seconds on the shot clock. 1 minute remaining here in the first half. Pass goes into the corner, now swings it back up top of the floor, now into the wing. Here's Morgan Williams, who already has 1 3 on the night. This one no good. Rebound is fought for and is going to be brought down by Tamoya Brownlee. A little bit out of control there. Into the front court comes ICC. Pass goes down low to Holland. Holland can't finish, and Holmes is going to have the basketball with about an 8-second difference between the shot and the game clock, and they force a pass up the floor and throw it out of bounds. Jim, it's just everybody back and forth, not valuing that possession.
Little helter-skelter there, and Indians up by 3 with the ball, 32 seconds. Let's get a good shot here, Jordan.
So
going to halftime up 5 or 6.
Would expect ICC to use as much of that time as possible. About a 2-second difference between the game and the shot clock. As the shot clock now reads 22 seconds is on the game clock. Overton kicks right side to Dunlap. Dunlap back to the top of the key to Whitney Watkins. Watkins will dribble drive, takes 2 dribbles, gets right there inside the lane, puts one up, no good, gets her own rebound, it's no good. Rebound is still fought around 4 with 10 seconds remaining, and ICC can't get it. Now here comes Holmes. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Pass comes up the floor to Morgan Williams, and they'll say as she took it off the left side wing, she drove right, and before she put the ball on the floor, she took too many steps. So the inbound will come right here to our left in front of Coach Robin Porter. 2 seconds remaining on the game clock. So going to have to get a pass way up the floor. It goes to Mariah Holland. She pulls up with 0.5 seconds remaining from the half-court line. It is no good. And ICC will take a lead into the halftime break, Jim. But, Jim, the remainder, I'll say down the stretch there in the first half, specifically those last 4 minutes, things just kind of got out of control.
It did for both teams. But like you said, we had at one time a 10-point lead in the first period. They dwindled it down. We've only got a 3-point lead here going into halftime.
We will take a break. We'll come back with the halftime show right after this. 29-26, ICC leads it after the first half of action inside the Davis Event Center. We'll take a break and be back with second half action right after this. This is ICC basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
Get a Little Caesars large, extra most bestest stuffed crust pizza, topped with pepperoni and cheese, and stuffed with over 3 feet of cheese in the crust. That's right, we stuffed cheese into the crust of the pizza with extra cheese and the most pepperoni. All at the nation's best price of just $9. Try our convenient app and Pizza Portal pickup.
Pizza. Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
Attention all ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club members. You're invited to join us for the ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club Member Appreciation Night on Monday, February the 3rd. Members will get free admission to the Northeast Games, food and drink will be provided, and you'll be able to visit with ICC coaches and staff. Not a member of the Alumni Association or Indian Club yet? You're still invited to come be a part of the evening and sign up to become a member that evening as well. For more information or questions, call 662-862-8039. That's 662-862-8039. The
Car Hop Classic for just $2.99 is the perfect 1-2 punch of flavor and value.
Time that!
You need a trainer to help you eat the burger?
Hey, stay out of this. Don't get in my head, man. There's barely room for me in there.
Hurry in and try quarter-pound double cheeseburger or 6-inch Philly plus tots for $2.99.
My mom never let me eat this much cookie dough.
What would she say if she saw you eating this big scoop cookie dough blast?
I don't know. Why ask her?
Don't tell your father.
Oh, naughty, naughty.
Hurry in and scoop up our new cookie dough treats. Try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
Back here inside the Davis Event Center is the ICC Palm Squad having a little bit of a halftime entertainment during the halftime show here. Underneath the lights inside the Davis Event Center. This is the Little Caesars halftime report. Little Caesars halftime report. Time for the first half recap, brought to you by the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. From strains and sprains to tears and breaks, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi has got you covered. Give them a call at 662-377-BONE or stop by 499 Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. And as you are listening to this first half recap, and as we get into the stats as well, you'll be treated to the first half highlights brought to you by Little Caesars. The Little Caesars app, combined with the new pizza portal, has made the fastest pizza in Itawamba County even faster. Located at 1405 South Adams Street. Call them ahead at 862-2250. As Jim, we talk about this first half, and it seemed like ICC really came out and played well early on, especially with the absence of Bria Gandy. But then as the half went on, it looked like they got just a little more lackadaisical on the offensive end specifically.
They did, and we started taking the outside shots. We were going inside, getting some good shots. Got a little helter-skelter, out of control there. Started running up and down the court. Both teams making turnovers, but we let them get back into the ball game. That's why it's a three-point game.
And one thing both teams did is got themselves in a little bit of foul trouble and really caused their coaches to have to get deep into that bench.
No doubt about it. Both teams are playing 9 or 10 ladies right now. Holmes has 3 ladies with 2 fouls apiece, and we have 2 ladies with 2 fouls apiece.
When you think about the locker room right now and Coach Robin Porter in there talking to her team, you know you're in a little bit of foul trouble. You know that your starting point guard, Bria Gandy, is not with you tonight due to an illness. What do you say? This is what happened. This is how we improve on it in the second half.
Well, you got to make sure that Keely Wilson's got to get back on the floor. She was the point guard tonight. Of course, she picked up 2 early fouls, 1 out. But I was impressed by Norman and Overton playing the point guard also late in the first half. Get your plays, and we had some people open underneath. We failed to get them the ball a lot of times, and we tried to create from outside and miss some shots.
Time for the first half stats, brought to you by the Sonic of Fulton. With 1.3 million drink combos and mouth-watering burgers, why would you go anywhere else? Visit the Sonic in Fulton for exclusive offers and happy hour specials. Don't forget about Sonic. They have all the specials there. So, Jim, let's kick it over to you for a look by the numbers.
It's 29-26. Lady Indians up by 3 against the Lady Bulldogs of Holmes. For the Lady Indians tonight, Whitney Watkins has 8. Overton has 7. We talked about Norman has 5, Dunlop has 2, Mariah Holland has 2, and Pfeiffer came off the bench, got some good rebounds. She has 4 points. For the Holmes Lady Bulldogs, Jordan Manning had 6, Jemiah Red has 4, Gabrielle Bunch has 5, Jalacia Smith has 4, Bryson Maxwell has 4, and Morgan Williams came off the bench and got 6 quick points.
Taking a look at our halftime spotlight presented by Renaissance Bank. Visit renaissancebank.com to learn more about the Renaissance Rewards extra checking account. Things like roadside assistance, cell phone insurance, over 400,000 discounts. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. That is renaissancebank.com. When we talk about a spotlight from the first half, to me it's going to be a lot like our spotlight was last Monday night. And I think you got to talk about the job that Tatiana Normant and as well as Shamaria Overton have done off the bench for the Lady Indians.
No doubt. We talked about them coming in and having to play the point guard with Teresa Gandy being out tonight. Norman brings the energy. She's quick. She's not afraid. She got some good shots off. I like her at point guard.
It is halftime. This is the Little Caesars halftime report here inside the Davis Event Center. ICC leads 29-26 at the half. We'll take a break and be back with more second half action momentarily. This is ICC basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
Get a Little Caesars large, extra most bestest stuffed crust pizza, topped with pepperoni and cheese, and stuffed with over 3 feet of cheese in the crust. That's right, we stuffed cheese into the crust of the pizza with extra cheese and the most pepperoni. All at the nation's best price of just $9. Try our convenient app and Pizza Portal pickup.
Pizza, pizza.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
The press conference today was great. It's wonderful when we can get the presidents together, leadership from the community colleges, but even more importantly, to have the governor standing there with us and have Governor Reeves sharing his thoughts about our focus and our efforts in workforce and how we can begin to move the needle for Mississippi and really make a true impact. It's hard to imagine not funding Mississippi community colleges when you think about the fact that 75%, 3 out of 4 Mississippi Community College graduates stay and work in Mississippi. And when you also think about 95% of our students are Mississippi residents. So we're doing the work of Mississippi and we are truly preparing tomorrow's workforce.
Well, we hope today that continued emphasis, continued awareness takes place about the great work that community colleges are doing. Also an awareness about the funding needs, the needs to continue to be able to provide workforce training dollars to assist students, but also academic and career technical students, but really showcasing the transformative work that community colleges play in the entire state of Mississippi.
It's amazing to watch in my 23 years experience in community colleges to see the impact it makes individually for students, that it really truly changes their lives through education. So many of our students come in with the end in mind, but there's others that don't quite know what they want to do, and we're able to put them on a path to a great career, whether that be through our career and technical programs or onto a university for a 4-year degree. But we are the beginning point and really the path that makes it possible because of our financial point. The fact that they can come in and not build a tremendous amount of debt or any debt at all and transfer on to finish that degree or go straight to the workforce. And we're so proud of our students and what they accomplish.
Well, Coach, we're about a month away from the season kicking off on January 31st. Just, coming off a historic season, 40-16-1 last year, made the national tournament, won the conference tournament, and runner-up in region there. Just, we know the conference is always stacked. Just talk a little about that non-conference schedule that you got that's going to start the season.
Yeah, coming up, being in junior college, we always have a half of a new team every year. And like I said, we had a great run last year, lost some really good sophomores, got some new players in, got some veterans back. But we're looking at that preseason conference just to get us ready. We're in the greatest conference in America and the toughest conference in America. And we play, mainly all Alabama junior colleges, and then Jackson State up in Tennessee, Jackson State and Bevel State and Alabama both have new coaches this year. And it's going to be exciting for their programs coming in with new coaches, to play them, be a little mystery there. And then we play the perennial powerhouses, MMI, Sneeze State, Wallace State's always ranked in the top 20. So those teams are really good at getting us, within 3 hours of campus, they really get us ready for our tough conference leading into the conference play.
All right, well, let's talk about that conference play. We know there's always the tough games there. You have some that you circle, but we ain't necessarily got to mention what one you circled. But yeah. Talk about some of those conference games that you are looking forward to and to seeing how your girls are going to respond.
Yeah, this year, the schedule we had 2 years ago has changed up a little bit of when you play each other, but it's all the same road games. We're going to have to be road warriors. We have the longest trips that we have. I mean, our administration looked at it, and it's just crazy that we got to go to Gulf Coast, to Pearl River, to Jones, to Hines, to Meridian, to Holmes, who is our furthest north school. I mean, we stay on the road northwest. I mean, we are just going to be on the road with some really good programs. I mean, we got some good teams coming to our place as well. But you know, it's hard to sweep on the road. It's hard to split on the road when I got their local umpires and you know, a lot of things against you. So our team's going to grow up really fast, and we start conference play right there at the start of March. So it's going to be a tough 28-game schedule like it is every year.
Okay, now some of the games that you do have on the schedule are some of your special series you have every year with breast cancer awareness, ovarian cancer, and of course sophomore day. But talk a little bit about those series, the opponents, and what it means to both squads when they hit the field those days.
Yeah, when we have our breast cancer and ovarian cancer, I mean, it's just a special, to raise awareness. Both teams always buy in. You always have a lot of, we'll have people come back out who are survivors or a memory of people who might have passed away, just to raise awareness, just to, get some people to donate some money and keep it in the forefront for everybody to know about and not forget about, because cancer is going to affect everybody at some point in their life, either personally or somebody in their family or friends. And then those are just two, coaching female sport that really, hit high. They're in the top 5 cancers for females.
Now, that breast cancer awareness series will be March 31st against Mississippi Delta here, and then the ovarian cancer awareness series will be on April 6th against Northeast. Yeah. Now, let's talk a little bit about that rivalry there, since it's going to be on a special day as well. Talk about that rivalry between you guys in Northeast and what that means to your program.
Yeah, Northeast, I mean, Coach Long and I, we've known each other 40 years, and it's 50 miles separate us, but we're backdoor neighbors. We get after each other, and then having something to, really take you guys do a great job, and I know their sports information does a great job of getting it out there and exposing it, and just, ovarian cancer came really to the forefront with Mississippi State getting it going, everybody taking the challenge like we did a few years ago, and just keeping it in the forefront in everybody's mind.
All right, Coach. Well, just one last thing here. Just you talked about those road trips. Got to be the road warriors. You got to win at home, of course. But just talk about some of those road trips and how you are going to prepare your girls to get ready to play after being on the bus for a long time.
Yeah, it's not like we're going 30 minutes down the road to play at Tupelo. That's what we talk about all the time. And we took a few trips, the 2-hour range during the fall to try to get ready. But, when you got 2 trips where we'll go spend overnight, they have to mature really quick. Luckily we got a good group of sophomores. They will, help with the freshmen on how to travel, how to prepare, and it's not a vacation that we're going on a business trip. And the last couple of years we've been very successful as far as we're the only Mad Jack team in softball that's not been swept in conference play, and that's just some stability, and that's a record I know they want to keep going this year, is trying to at least get a split on the road, sweep at home. It's kind of the formula everybody uses. But in our conference, I mean, there's so many good teams. You're just trying to battle every day.
Okay, well, I lied. I said one last thing, but you touched on those sophomores. I'd like for you to touch on them a little bit. Just talk about what some of them sophomores meant to you last year as freshmen and what you expect out of them this season.
We have a great core coming back. I mean, of course, you lose your career wins. Olivia Burns broke every one of our pitching records last year. But we got Kaylee Nelson and Mary Kate Butler from Pontotoc there. They're coming back as 2 of our pitchers, and they've done a great job this fall as far as just stabilizing the bullpen and helping some of the younger pitchers come in and get ready. And we're expecting great things out of those 2. Then you come back with, Maddie Miney was an All-American shortstop for us last year, second in the country in stolen bases. She's our catalyst at the top of the lineup, gets everything going for us. And then Hope Harbin, I thought was probably our most improved player last year from the start of the season to the end. She's a center fielder from Caledonia, and we expect her to have a great sophomore year. Summer Crider from Moorville led us in home runs, was right up there at the top RBIs, a lot of big hits. She plays third base, and we expect big things out of her RBI-wise. And then Jessica Davis will be coming in from the outfield to play second base for us this year. So, we got some others besides those, but that's kind of our core coming back from last year. They got a lot of playing time, and we're expecting a lot of things out of it.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you for your time, and we look forward to the season.
Thank you, guys. Roll Tribe.
Brought to you by Renaissance Bank, the bank that understands you. Learn more at renaissancebank.com.
There we go. Second half action underway here, and quickly ICC gets the ball inside to Mariah Holland, and Holland's able to finish it with the left hand. Jim, that's something we didn't see much of there in the first half. ICC struggled to get the ball down low, but they did a good job of it that time, and now we see a lot of intensity on the defensive end. So through 2 possessions, 1 time down and out, you can tell that Coach Porter, she might get after him a little bit in there in the locker room at halftime.
I think they said get physical underneath.
See a different lineup to open up the second half than we saw in the first half. The Indians will start out Sarah Freelow, Mariah Holland, Keely Wilson, Zuri Dunlap, and running the show as the point guard is Shamaria Overton. The same 5 on the floor for Holmes has started the basketball game, and Jordan Manning, Jemiah Red, Gabrielle Bunch, Jalecia Smith, and Brysa Maxwell. As ball gets tied up on the floor, jump ball call, and Holmes should have possession of the basketball.
31-26, Lady Indians up, 9 minutes left in the third period. Playing against Holmes Bulldogs tonight.
And that's one thing we talked about during the Little Caesars halftime show, Jim, was we wanted to see that intensity that really was present in the first quarter that maybe was not there as much in the second quarter. Wanted to see that pick back up, and early on here in the third quarter, it feels like that may be just the case. Pass in the corner, swings all the way across the floor that time, now underneath the goal and a wide open layup opportunity for Jalecia Smith. A good job by Holmes on the offensive end to reverse the floor and then come right back outside into the teeth of that defense and get a nice easy look with Smith.
Cut his 3 again, Jordan. 31-28, Lady Indians up, 8:30 left in the third period.
If you weren't with us in the first half, just now tuning in for second half action, that's kind of been the story of the basketball game. As ICC gets it to 5 points. They've stretched it out to as much as 8 at one point, but they can't expand it beyond that. As soon as they get it to that 5-6 point lead, it feels like Holmes has the answer every time. As Zuri Dunlap for 3 out of the near side corner, rattles around no good. Rebound goes to Holmes. Now 3-on-2 in transition. Here they come down the floor. Off the right side is Manning, no good. Rebound goes into the corner, but retained by Bunch. Bunch top of the key, and now back to Manning again. So good job on the offensive glass by Holmes. Both teams did a good job on the offensive glass. As Holmes has definitely made an effort to get the basketball down low. They want to slash and get it in there. As you see again, nice job getting into the lane, just cannot make the pass go. As Keely Wilson controls the rebound, down the floor, throws up a prayer, no good, gets her own rebound, throws up another one, no good. And you can see Coach Robin Porter here just to our left, Jim. She's wanting a foul call in the worst kind of way and doesn't understand why she can't get it. It's a good job in transition. Holmes, layup off the near side, and again, we're back to 1 point.
1 point game, 31-30. Lady Indians over the Lady Bulldogs, 7:15 left in the third period. Jordan, we got a basketball game right here.
As we talked about in the first half, Holmes, a team only averaging a tick under 57 points per game, have not even shot it at a 34% clip and have been even worse than that from beyond the arc. But you can see, and especially when you got a team that struggles on the offensive end, you want to drive the basketball and try to get fouled. They've done a lot of that so far here tonight as shot clock runs all the way down, and I don't think Overton even got the shot off that time.
Didn't get it off. Good defense for Holmes. Got a chance to take the lead here. 6:53 left in the third period.
We'll see Zaire Burgess come back onto the floor for the Lady Indians. She'll sub off Sarah Freelow. Substitution brought to you by First American National Bank. Tommy Chamberlain and Company, proud sponsors of ICC basketball. But Jim, as a team that struggles a bit on the offensive end, they've done the 2 things you have to do. They have to play phenomenal defense, and they have to drive it in there and get a lot of points off the free throw line. And that seems like that's been the formula for Holmes. As pass goes in low to Jalecia Smith. Smith goes to work with the right hand, no good, and rebound goes to Shamaria Overton for the Lady Indians. Now Overton, shot out of a cannon down the floor, tries to force a pass in somewhere where they had nowhere to go with the basketball. Now Gabrielle Bunch down the floor, 2 defenders on her. She goes up and under, can't finish it. Rebound goes to Holmes, and she goes right back up with it that time, Jemiah Red, and she's fouled. As she goes up for the putback, foul's going to go against Mariah Holland. So Holmes trails by 1, but as they go to the stripe, they're going to have a chance to take back the lead. As Whitney Watkins comes onto the floor, she did not open up the second half in the starting lineup for ICC. She'll sub off Zuri Dunlap. So Watkins led the team in scoring in the first half. Now she's back onto the floor as first free throw from Red is up and no good.
31-30. Lady Indians up by 1. 6:14 left in the third period.
Second free throw off the back iron, no good, and rebound goes to Keely Wilson. Jim, this is a team, though, in Holmes, you look at them and you say, well, you know, they're under 500 at 7-9. They're only 3-2 in division play. But when you look at the schedule and what they've done so far in North Division play, 4 of their 5 games have been decided by 3 points or less, and they've come out on top of 3 of those.
Jordan, they've been very competitive all year. Very, very competitive.
Foul goes against Brysa Maxwell, her second personal, first team foul of the quarter. So ICC will inbound it in underneath the goal with Whitney Watkins. Watkins goes to Overton, and Overton trying to get it underneath the goal to Zaire Burgess and simply nowhere to go with the basketball. ICC has struggled to get the ball down low. That has been what they wanted to do, and they haven't had much of an opportunity to get it there. As Lamaya Pfeiffer has been their best option in underneath the rim. She's at the scorer's table getting set to check in at the next stoppage of play. As Watkins off the wing gives, now she takes it back for three, straight on, no good off the back iron, and an easy rebound comes back to Holmes. Just a lot of shots for ICC that have been contested and just strictly not very good looks.
Both teams firing up three-pointers right now, Jordan, and missing. No rhythm here in the third period for either team.
And that's got to be frustrating for Coach Andrews as they've had the opportunity to get the ball down low. That's the only place the offense has worked, and mainly due to getting fouled down there, but they've just struggled. As timeout on the floor, Coach Robin Porter will burn a timeout. ICC leads it by 1, but it's been a struggle so far both ways here in the second half. 5:13 to go in the third quarter. This is ICC basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here, and it's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
Back here inside the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. For more information, log on to iccms.edu and look for the Alumni and Foundation link. They'd love to help you out right there. The fine folks at the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation, fine folks like Jim Ingram.
Well, try to be, Jordan, try to be. And give Michael Upton a lot of credit until the Bushline does an excellent job.
Absolutely. Y'all got a great crew over there. Love working with you all there with the Foundation. As Jim, we've got a barn burner of a basketball game ahead of us right here. 31-30, ICC leads at 5:13 to go in the third quarter.
Jordan, we were talking about, we weren't in good rhythm, and our coach called timeout. Robin Porter wanted to talk to him, slow it down, get the ball underneath. That's where we had some success earlier. We're up by 1, 5:13 left in the third period, 31-30.
Inbound pass will come from Keely Wilson right here in front of us. As it looked like when ICC came out of the locker room after the halftime break, that things were much more under control. The offense was more up-tempo. The defense was very physical. They had arms and throwing lanes, forcing turnovers. And that lasted for about the first 90 seconds.
You're
and
right.
From that point on, it's felt like the first half all over again.
Good timeout by Robin Porter.
Good defense by Holmes. Got the shot clock all the way down to 5 as Wilson pump fakes, goes left side, throws one up off the back iron, no good. But there's Pfeiffer once again on the offensive glass. Lamaya Pfeiffer, the freshman out of Independence, Mississippi, with the offensive board. And you know what? When she goes up with it, she may not hit it, but if she doesn't, it's typically because she got fouled.
No doubt. Hope she can make these free throws. And I believe Smith got her third foul. It says second.
It does say second foul.
I must be wrong.
Against Jalecia Smith, as she will sub off the floor nonetheless, and we'll see Tanaya Jones come on for Holmes as Lamaya Pfeiffer goes to the line. First free throw no good, and Jim, one thing we didn't talk about during the Little Caesars halftime show was ICC's left a lot of points out there on the free throw line.
They did. We need to make our free throws here.
Pfeiffer dribbles it, puts up second free throw. It is good, so that gives the Indians back a 2-point lead, 4:50 to go in the third quarter. ICC looks like they're going to extend the defense, go back into that full court press, try to trap the basketball right here at the half-court line, but a good job by Holmes of breaking it with a good array of guards. A Holmes team very young. Is that we're already getting word now from the official score that was the third foul against Jalecia Smith, so she came off the floor with 3 fouls. There's a touch foul right there at the logo against the Indians. They'll get Overton for it. Second team, or that'll be the third team foul to go against ICC. First for Overton. But Jim, Holmes, a very youthful team. Only one sophomore on the club. That is Brysa Maxwell. She is that sophomore that was in the starting lineup. But for the majority of the ladies that are out there on the floor and the majority of the production on the offensive end, it's all coming from a bunch of freshmen.
No doubt about it. And we talked about, they had 3 players that played together at Canton High School. They're all out here right now playing for the Holmes Lady Bulldogs.
Good look that time for Mariah Holland as she turned around in the paint, had about an 8-foot jump shot that could not go. Rebound was fought for and was kicked out of bounds by Holmes. So ICC will inbound it. They reset the shot clock back to 20 seconds. They'll inbound it to Pfeiffer. So Shamara Overton running the show as the point guard a lot tonight. Good entry pass goes to Lamaya Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer kicks it back into the corner to Whitney Watkins. Watkins' three is no good, but another offensive rebound goes to Keely Wilson. Wilson back to Holland, and this time Holland will bury one out of the three. 3-point is good for the freshman out of Oxford.
Needed that. Extended lead to 5 points. 3:49 left in the third period. Indians up by 5.
Let's see if ICC can expand that lead. They've led by as much as 8, but the majority of the night has felt like about a 4 to 5 point lead. A great opportunity in under 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter for ICC to try to expand on the lead. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Ball gets kicked over into the corner to Brysa Maxwell. Maxwell thinks about the three, goes across the court, and there's going to be a dribble drive from Jordan Manning, and Manning will get fouled as she goes towards the goal. Foul will go on Lamaya Pfeiffer. They will say a shooting foul, so that is going to send Jordan Manning to the stripe. As Pfeiffer going to sub off the floor, and for the first time here in the she started out the third quarter. We'll see Tatiana Normant come back onto the floor for the Indians. Substitution brought to you by the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi at 499 Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. First free throw from Manning's up and good.
Manning's got 7 points tonight for the Lady Bulldogs. Cut it to 4, 35-31. Got a chance to cut it to 3. 3:27 left in the third period.
Second free throw up. It is good as well. So a 3-point lead, as you mentioned. We'll see Gabrielle Bunch, leading scorer for Holmes, checks back onto the floor. She'll sub off Jordan Manning after those 2 free throws. And after the made free throw, it's going to be a full court press coming from Holmes. Trying to trap the basketball. A good job by Overton to break it. Now she has numbers into the front court. She'll go up for the layup, and she's going to draw the foul. Nice job there by Overton to realize she's got the defender on her heels. Does not in any kind of position to take a charge. She attacks the basket and gets fouled. That foul goes against Zanaya Bogan, which they put it on. Never mind. Excuse me. I looked too early. It's going to be against Tanaya Jones, her second personal. Overton's first free throw off the front iron, no good. And Jim, I don't have the official numbers, but I would be shocked to say ICC's 50% off the free throw line.
And we've been fortunate. I believe Holmes is probably about 60%.
Second shot from Overton. It is up. It is good. And it'll give ICC an opportunity now to get into their full court press off the made free throw. So both teams electing to go full court press, trying to make it difficult to get the ball down the floor off made free throws. You know, very impressed with Holmes. As you look at what they've done so far this year, 4 of 5 games decided by 3 points or less. To see the youthfulness of this basketball team, but to see how they have been able to handle adversity, how they've been able to handle the press, how they've ran offensive sets in the half court, you got to be impressed to see a bunch of freshmen do that. As you see Bunch dribble drive and get it back to the hole once again, and again, 2-point lead for ICC. Tatiana Normant drives the basketball for the Indians, gets into the paint, cannot finish, and Bunch with the offensive board. Nice pass, driving up the left side of the lane, goes up for the floater. They're going to say a foul, and it looked like she had all ball to me, Jim.
I think she had all ball, but it might have helped us because she got the rebound, had the layup. Now she's got to make 2 at the free throw line.
They say that Shamaria Overton got her in the head as she went up. I didn't see any contact above the shoulders, but they're going to say did get her in the head as she went up off the block on the near side, and that will send Brysa Maxwell, that lone sophomore on the club, to the free throw line. First one from Maxwell is up and good. If she can knock home the second one, we'll be back all tied.
Let's try to jinx her. She looked good on that free throw. Maybe she'll miss this one.
Throwing the old jinx on her here, Jim.
There we go. Didn't.
Yeah, it worked, didn't it? Every time. Good job there, Jim Ingram, with the old jinx. And that allows ICC to hold on to a 1-point lead. As we talked about Keely Wilson during the Little Caesars halftime show, she is in control as she runs the point on the offensive side of things, brings the ball up the floor, now gives off to Overton. Overton back into the corner to Wilson. Wilson tries to drive baseline, ball knocked loose. Back to Overton. Overton trying to get the ball inside to Mariah Holland, and Holland just goes to work. A nice job there by Mariah Holland going to work on Tanaya Jones. She makes a spin move on the block and finishes with the left hand.
She got the defender on the heel and had the easy little 5-foot jump shot. Good job.
Holland coming off the bench tonight for ICC. She started out this year in the starting lineup through the majority of the first 10 games, but has now since been coming off the bench for the Indians and has looked very good doing so here tonight. This entry pass goes down low, kicked back into the corner, an air ball fired up that time from Morgan Williams of Holmes, and a rebound comes to ICC. Coach Porter stretches her hand out, says take a breather, let's get into a set on offense. Keely Wilson drives to the logo, puts up a shot, and is fouled in the process.
Good job, McKinley. Good drive. You talked about Holland coming off the bench tonight. She's leading the team in scoring tonight with 9 points.
So good job there, finding some production off the bench. As she's going to get a bit of a breather as Tamoya Brownlee comes onto the floor. She'll sub off Mariah Holland. That substitution brought to you by Renaissance Bank. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. RenaissanceBank.com. As third foul on Tanaya Jones will allow Wilson to go to the line. You know, ICC, not to beat a dead horse, but has done a great job of getting to the line tonight. Just have to capitalize on those opportunities when you get there. First free throw from Wilson. It is in there. Good. It gives the Indians back a 2-possession lead at 39-35.
I've got that's Keeley's first point of the night. And she's done a lot of good things tonight. Maybe we'll get her scoring here.
Second free throw by Wilson. It is
there we go.
Rattling around. It does go down. So back again to a 5-point lead for ICC. Holmes just hanging around, not going anywhere. That's one of those things that scares you in a game like this. Is you allow somebody to stay in a basketball game and feel like they really do have a chance to win. It's a great job on the defensive end there by Whitney Watkins and Shamaria Overton to tie up the basketball. That's why you press like that, tie it up, force a turnover. Possession arrow favors the Indians and gives the Lady Indians back the basketball.
You know, Jordan, we hadn't had over a 5-point lead, I don't think, since the second period. Maybe we can stretch it here to 7 or 8 here in the third period as it winds down with 1:20 left in the third period.
Got that opportunity to do it right here, and they do just that as a nice assist from Whitney Watkins to give it off to Tamoya Brownlee, who spins the lane, finishes with the right hand of the Indians. Out to a 7-point lead as we approach the 1-minute mark remaining in the third quarter. Nice job in breaking the press by Holmes. They attack the lane with Jordan Manning. Manning's layup off the right side too hard, and a rebound goes to ICC. And again, you see ICC just trying to institute some patience on the offensive end. A little bit of an isolation opportunity. Keely Wilson drives right side, and they're going to get her for a walk.
I believe it's a good call. A little bit out of control. Indians up by 7, 51 seconds left in the third period. 42-35, ICC over Holmes.
And you look at Coach Porter, she just kind of asked, where are you going with the basketball there? I mean, you're dribbling into a position where there's 3 bodies right on top of where you're going, and they cut you off, you're going to get called for it. It's a bit of a touch foul right in front of us here on Shamaria Overton as Shawanda Gray drove sideline in front. That's going to be the third foul to go against Overton. 5th foul of the quarter, and that's going to allow Gray to go to the free throw line. And Overton will sub off. We'll see Tatiana Normant back onto the floor for the Indians. It just kind of seems at times, Jim, that ICC a little bit out of position, just maybe a step off from where they typically are. And you know, we've mentioned tonight several times Tabria Gandy not with the team due to an illness, and a lot of that could be attributed to your point guard not being out there. But at the same time, it's just almost like they've been a step away all night long. As 1 for 2 on the line goes Shawanda Gray. So back to a 6-point lead for the Indians. 45 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Keely Wilson trying to break that press, drives it right there, trap at the top of the key. Looking for somewhere to go with the ball. It's stolen away by Gabrielle Bunch. Ball got tied up. Bunch takes a hold of it. 3-on-2 in transition. She drives the lane, throws up a shot, no good. And a rebound goes to Zuri Dunlap. Now Dunlap comes down the floor. 26 seconds remaining on the game clock. Shot clock is off, and she gets bailed out there. She tries to pass under the goal. It's kicked. That's going to reset the shot clock to 20. So ICC had an opportunity to get the last shot there. They forced the issue on the offensive end. Now as a kick ball resets the clock to 20. So about a 4-second difference between the shot and game clock. Inbound pass goes to Tamoya Brownlee. Brownlee off the front iron with the right hand, no good. And Holmes with an opportunity to score. They do just that. Well, they're not able to drive it home, but they do get fouled as they drive up the left side with Morgan Williams. Her shot looked like it was going to go down, but it rattled out. Foul, though, against the Indians will allow them to shoot 2 free throws.
42-36, Indians up by 6, 15 seconds left in the third period. Holmes got a chance to cut it to 4.
First free throw by Williams is up and good. So back to that 5-point lead we've mentioned so many times down the stretch here in the second half. Chance to get inside 5 here for Williams. She just does just that to 4 points. So you need a good possession here. 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter. You want to hold it for one good shot. You don't want to turn the basketball over, but you do want to make sure you do get that shot off as Wilson going to drive up the sideline. 10 seconds remaining on the game clock. little bit of an isolation opportunity for Keely Wilson, top of the key, drives right, comes back left, pass goes in underneath to Tamoya Brownlee. There's going to be a whistle and a foul that goes against Holmes before the pass.
Shooting free throws.
Yeah, that's 5th foul of the 3rd quarter, so that will allow Wilson to get to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Foul goes against Shawanda Gray. And I thought that was her 4th foul, but maybe that's just 3.
I got her down for 3.
You got her down for 3, so I had 1 too many here. 3 fouls against Shawanda Gray as Wilson to the free throw line. First free throw from Wilson, up and good. Back to a 5-point lead. 2.7 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. So would expect ICC to get into that full court defense off of a made free throw here and try not to allow a long shot to go down for Holmes before the break. Second one up. It rattles around, no good. Rebound fought for. There's a whistle. Is it going to be a foul or a lane violation?
Lane violation.
A foul. Oh, it is a lane violation. Lane violation against Jordan Manning. So it will allow for one more free throw for Keely Wilson. So a gifted opportunity here for Wilson. Spins the ball around in her hands, puts it up. This one's off the front iron. Clock resets. Dunlap had the rebound. She puts a shot up. It is blocked, and that will end the 3rd quarter. So 1 of 3 off the free throw line there to end the 3rd quarter, and also didn't get much of a shot off there off the offensive rebound. Nonetheless, 5-point lead for the Indians, 43-38 as we head to the 4th quarter. We'll be back with that 4th quarter after these messages from our sponsors. This is ICC Basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Attention all ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club members. You're invited to join us for the ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club Member Appreciation Night on Monday, February the 3rd. Members will get free admission to the Northeast Games, food and drink will be provided, and you'll be able to visit with ICC coaches and staff. Not a member of the Alumni Association or Indian Club yet? You're still invited to come be a part of the evening and sign up to become a member that evening as well. For more information or questions, call 662-862-8039. That's 662-862-8039.
Jordan Smith alongside Jim Ingram and Adam Gore producing our broadcast for us tonight. I want to also thank Raphael Henry up top running the cameras for us, Lee Adams controlling the Twitter accounts and the photos down on the floor for us as well. But as the 3 of us were down here talking on the floor, Adam, Jim, and I, it's a game in which ICC has led pretty much all the way through, but it's felt like, if anything, Holmes has controlled the pace.
They've hung around. They have controlled the pace here. You know, I don't feel really comfortable. We've only got a 5-point lead here. We've got another 10 minutes to play. We need to extend that lead, get a good lead on it. 43-38, ICC on top as we open up the 4th quarter of play. As it's Tatiana Normant, Mariah Holland, Shamaria Overton, Whitney Watkins, and Keely Wilson on the floor here to open up the 4th quarter for the Lady Indians. Dribble drive by Manning. She spins around on the block, tries to go up off the right side, and she's fouled. Then we'll go to the line for 2 shots. Foul goes against... Did they get Watkins that time? Watkins, her second foul.
They get Watkins. So we'll see Zuri Dunlap sub onto the floor. She'll take off Keely Wilson. Substitutions brought to you by the ICC BSU. Follow them on Twitter at ICC BSU. As Jordan Manning goes to the line for 2 shots. First shot from Manning hits off the back iron but rolls around and goes in. So back to a 4-point lead. 9:41 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Second shot is up and good as well. So Holmes starting to heat up off the free throw line a little bit. Neither team shot it very well early on from the floor or from the free throw line, but down the stretch here, Holmes has shot it a little bit better there off the stripe. And that's really been what's allowed them to get to the game, back into the game, or not that they ever were out of the game, but to stay in the game as ICC has struggled off the free throw line, and Holmes has shot it pretty decent there.
You're right, and Manning now has 10 points leading the team.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Tatiana Normant drives off left side. She goes up, fights right through a blocking foul. Count the basket, and she'll go to the line for one more. Nice job there by Tatiana Normant. And, You know, it seems like over the course of the last couple of weeks, ICC, when they needed that spark, Tatiana Norman's been able to supply that.
No doubt. Big shot then. Chance for the three-point play to extend this lead up to 6 if she can nail this free throw.
Jalecia Smith called for the foul for Holmes. She is that lone sophomore on the team. She's now got 3 fouls so far on the night. Free throw no good. Back to a 5-point lead for the Lady Indians. Trying to trap the basketball, force that turnover. ICC gets their hands on it. Right there on the near side of the floor with Shamaria Overton. Ball goes out of bounds. As we're now hearing that's the 4th foul.
Jalecia Smith, that's her 4th foul.
So that only sophomore on the team is Jalecia Smith, as we talked about. Now been called for 4 fouls in the basketball game, as Holmes simply just threw that one out of bounds. Nobody anywhere close as it sails down the lane out of bounds, and they didn't even have a black jersey down there. So a 5-point lead, chance to expand that lead beyond 5, which has been that difficult measure. And Mariah Holland just sails one down the floor. It's turned over, and then Holmes takes one and throws it down the floor, and it's turned over. So back-to-back turnovers within a 3-second span.
Out of control, both teams a little messy right now. We need to calm down. Got a 5-point lead, 8:52 left in the ball game.
Amaya Pfeiffer at the scorer's table to check in. She'll sub off Whitney Watkins. Substitution brought to you by the Bank of Oklahoma. Visit bankofoklahoma.com. As every time Pfeiffer's been on the floor tonight, she's just found her hands on the basketball on offensive rebounds and been able to put them back up. As Pfeiffer, we always make a point to talk about her shooting at nearly 75%. Well, she's played a good game down there low tonight as well. Turnover forced after the trap by Holmes. Push it up the floor to Manning. Manning off the right side, lays up off good, and she's lucky, or ICC's lucky that she didn't get fouled and get sent to the line for another one. So a 3-point lead for ICC at the 8:30 mark, and you can really tell the intensity from Holmes has been turned up.
As soon as we get across half court, they're pressing us. We're fortunate there, they fouled us.
Trying to force a turnover right there on the trap at the half-court line. Foul goes against Gabrielle Bunch, her first personal, team second here in the 4th quarter. As Bunch will sub off the floor, Shawanda Gray back in for the Lady Bulldogs. To reset the floor for ICC, it's Shamaria Overton, Tatiana Norman, Zuri Dunlap currently has the ball. Down low is Lamaya Pfeiffer, as well as Mariah Holland. Holland off the near side wing for 3, in and out, not there. Rebound tossed around, hit by Tatiana Norman. Now back to Mariah Holland. Holland down in there among the tall people, going up for it, fighting around for it. 2 shots up, no good. Fighting and now on the ground, can't control that 3rd one, and now it's going out in front to Holmes. Holmes drives the lane, crazy shot goes up off the left side, and they're going to say she walked before she got it up.
Good defense. ICC got back on defense, forced to travel.
Several good looks down low on the offensive end for ICC, though, and just could not get one to go home. Under 8, 7:58 remaining, 3-point lead for ICC, 45-42. As ICC looking for ways to break this press. As they break it, have numbers, but decide better of it, pull it out, and a reset on the offensive end. Shamaria Overton holds it out beyond the circles. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Gets a screen from Pfeiffer, drives left, now kicks over to Dunlap off the wing for 3, and it rattles it in and goes home for Zuri Dunlap. A nice job there off the near side wing to double the lead and get the Lady Indians back that 6-point advantage.
Big shot by Dunlap. Extend the lead to 6 points, Jordan.
Nice job, nice patience on the offensive end by Shamaria Overton as the inbound or underneath pass goes for Holmes. Had an open look, could not make it go, and Tatiana Norman comes away with the defensive rebound. And again, Overton back up top, going to let things reset. Well, it's worked the last couple of times she's done this. She takes the screen from Pfeiffer, kicks right side this time to Norman. Norman drives baseline. Good pass to Mariah Holland. Holland from 4 feet off the back iron. Lamaya Pfeiffer fights for the rebound off the back iron. No good. Rebound still fought for, and they'll say jump ball and underneath the goal.
Good job. Good rebound by the Lady Indians. Battling underneath. Jump ball. Possession stays with the Indians. We're up by 6, 6:56 left in the ball game.
Keely Wilson comes back onto the floor for the Indians. She'll sub off Zuri Dunlap, and that was just one of the biggest shots of the night, that 3-point basket off the wing on that last possession. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Overton, basketball in the corner. Now gives it back to Keely Wilson. The give and go off the inbounds pass. No good, but a rebound, offensive board for Tatiana Norman. She gets in there again, goes up, can't make it go, but is fouled.
Good job by Norman. Great energy. We're hitting the boards. We got 4 or 5 rebounds that possession to keep the possession alive.
You know, this is an important matchup for the Lady Indians as they had won 7 in a row going into Scuba last Thursday night to face off with East Mississippi. Dropped the decision in overtime as First free throw from Norman is no good, but an opportunity tonight to get back in that win column, and they're really in control of their own destiny still. If they win out, they've still got a great opportunity to host that tournament right here in the postseason.
Like you said, Jordan, we lost the game on the road in overtime. We need to take care of business at home. So far tonight, we're up by 7, 6:45 left in the ball game.
Holmes just hanging around there, though, as they try to break this press from ICC and get back. As ICC leads it by 7, 6:30 remaining in the contest. Pass goes to the elbow to Bryson Maxwell. Maxwell gives back now all the way into the corner. Dribble drive, pass across the set. Little jump step in there with the right hand, can't make it go. Offensive rebound goes to Holmes, though. Morgan Williams got that board, went back up with it. They'll say she was fouled in the process, a push. Let's see if they send her to the free throw line or not. They will send her to the free throw line, so they say she was fouled in the process. No, they're going to say inbounds. Say it was on the rebound, so was a little bit of confusion there. So no free throws for Holmes. They'll have the offensive possession back. They take over 20 seconds on the shot clock. Bunch drives right side, a beautiful pass in down low that time to Morgan Williams. An easy finish off the right side, but an even better pass from Gabrielle Bunch.
Pass. Good patience. They cut it to 5, 49-44, 6 minutes left in the ball game.
Pass over the top of that set to Keely Wilson, but a smart job there by Wilson just to get it back to the point guard and Shamaria Overton. Got a 5-point advantage. Try to run some more clock as it was an easy pass trying to go for points there to Lamaya Pfeiffer. Overshot her. Wilson was able to catch it and get it back to Norman, who dribble drive could not make it go. And now numbers in the front court for Holmes. Holmes, though, no good. Out in transition, ball tied up. Pfeiffer came away with it, but they're going to say possession arrow favors Holmes. And again, Jim, that intensity just up and down the floor has really dialed up here in the fourth quarter. Substitutions for the Lady Indians. We'll see Sarah Freelow and Zaire Burgess come onto the floor. They'll sub off Mariah Holland and Lamaya Pfeiffer. Those substitutions brought to you by the Cagle Eye Center, 862 Eyes, to set up your appointment today. So a much more guard-oriented lineup on the floor here for ICC. And just a terrible job of inbounding the basketball by Holmes. They throw it over the top of the whole set. Ball goes out of bounds right here in front of us in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. Turnover gives it back to ICC.
49-44, Lady Indians up by 5, 5:33 left in the ball game.
So really trying to take control of that clock, run as much time as they can. They've led it by 5 points here for the last couple of minutes. Keely Wilson and Shamaria Overton, the two guards in the set that have just really kind of ran the show on the offensive end tonight in the absence of Tabria Gandy. Pass goes down into the corner to Tatiana Norman. Norman, one dribble, jumps off the block and goes up with the right side. And we talk a lot about Gandy and how she plays bigger than she is. Tatiana Norman's someone who does that as well.
No doubt about it. Norman bringing the energy. I believe she has 10 points tonight.
Back to a 7-point advantage for ICC. They lead at 51-44, 5:09 remaining in the contest as we have timeout on the floor. We'll take a break and be back with the last 5 minutes of action right after this. ICC basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
You live life on your own terms. You won't be told what you can't do. And we're here to back you. From the boardroom to the big stage, Renaissance Bank supports women striving for success. Because greatness isn't held to anyone's expectations, except yours. So if anyone says you can't, prove them wrong. Rise with Renaissance, supporting women in the communities they influence every day.
That timeout was brought to you by the ICC Indian delegation, reminding you that it's time to schedule a tour of ICC by visiting iccms.edu. 51-44, ICC leads, 5 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of action between ICC and Holmes. As inbound pass for Holmes, drive goes in the right side, lots of contact, ball goes loose, and a nice job of rebounding it by Gabrielle Bunch. Bunch drives the lane, looks for a pass down low, and she had her lady there in Jalecia Smith. The pass gets away from her, goes out of bounds, but can't say enough about Gabrielle Bunch. Been really impressed with her tonight when she's been on the floor.
No doubt about it. Didn't start the ball game, playing with a lot of energy. Jordan, we got a chance here to extend this lead. We got a 7-point lead. We led by 8, I think, in the first quarter. Maybe we get the biggest lead of the ball game tonight here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where late in the ball game, you know, a single-digit lead for ICC, you would imagine there's going to be some fouls down the stretch, and ICC is going to really have to go to the line to ice the basketball game. But when you think about how they've shot the free throws tonight, they've not been very confident off the free throw line, that is a little bit of cause for concern and really makes these next couple of minutes very important. As Zuri Dunlap for 3 off the wing, no good. Rebound batted around and controlled by Holmes. But really, I mean, down the stretch, that free throw line can be your best friend or your worst enemy.
No doubt about it.
3-point up for Holmes, rattle it around, it's good. As that time, Shawanda Gray off the wing right here in front of her coach, she's able to knock that one down and get it back within 4 points.
Big basket. Holmes had not scored the last 2 or 3 minutes of the ball game. Now they cut it to 4 here in the 4th period. 3:53 left. Lady Indians up by 4 points.
Wilson
4 points.
Wilson breaks the press on her own, gives off to Dunlap, now gets it back. 10 seconds on the shot clock. A little one-on-one opportunity for Keely Wilson. Gives right side to Zuri Dunlap. Dunlap looking for a place to go. Kicks inside. Gets it down low to Zaire Burgess. And Burgess fights through a foul and finishes for the Indians. Center of the line for a free throw. Nice job there of fighting through the contact, finishing. And Zaire Burgess, one of the freshmen from Oxford for the Lady Indians, gets to the charity stripe for one more.
That's Shawanda Gray's 4th foul for the Lady Bulldogs.
Free throw up and good for Zaire Burgess to give the Indians back a 7-point lead, 3:35 remaining in the contest. So a huge opportunity here for ICC to get a stop on the defensive end and get it back, run some clock, try to expand that lead on the offensive set. But they'll be whistled for a foul on the drive that time as Brysa Maxwell drives off the near side, that left wing, gets to the rim, can't finish it, but does get fouled in the process. Both teams done a good job tonight, Jim, getting to the free throw line.
No doubt about it. Let's see who can make the free throws. Hopefully the Lady Indians can.
So we'll see Zaire Burgess come to the sideline for a little bit of a breather after a good possession on the offensive end. Shamaria Overton comes back onto the floor. Substitution brought to you by Coke. Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics. As the first free throw there by Maxwell off the left side of the iron and no good. Able to finish up that second one there, so back to a 6-point advantage for ICC. Let's see if Holmes goes back to dialing up that press opportunities. They got 4 ladies right here on top of the half-court stripe. Nice pass by Normant to get it off down the lane to Mariah Holland, and Holland's able to finish it off the left side. And that's the thing about the press is if you press them at the half-court line, you're in good position to get a steal. But if they're able to get it over your head, it takes one more pass and a slasher down the lane, and it's usually an easy bucket. And ICC is able to do just that as Shamaria Overton on the defensive end forces a turnover and gets it back to Keely Wilson. Nice job there by ICC of turning up that defense, the intensity on the defensive end. As Holland back to work off the block again, and she's really just putting the team on her back here down the stretch, Jim.
No doubt about it. Holland leading the team with 13 points here in the 4th period. We finally got it to a 10-point lead, 2:30 left in the ball game.
Largest lead of the night for ICC comes at the 2:35 mark, and again, they have forced a turnover. Holmes tries to trap the basketball, but a good job by Tatiana Normant to recognize the loose ball, get it back to the point guard, and allow the offensive set just to get a lot more under control. Keely Wilson out of the circle, starts off right side, one-on-one, man-to-man defense across the board. 12 seconds on the shot clock as it goes into the corner to Shamaria Overton. Overton left hand drives the lane, tries to go up in the lane, and she is fouled as well. She'll have 2 shots. Foul goes against Brysa Maxwell, so the sophomore Maxwell out of Choctaw County High School, she gets called for her 4th foul. 5th foul for the team, so ICC shooting free throws the rest of the way out.
2:11 left in the ball game. Lady Indians up by 10 over the Lady Bulldogs.
Really a nice job here over the course of the last couple of minutes by Mariah Holland, Keely Wilson, just to name a few for ICC to really get things under control and play well down the stretch, as first free throw by Overton is good, but really put the team on their backs here inside the 5-minute mark.
You're right. Mariah Holland's had 11 points here in the second half.
Second free throw by Overton, it is good as well. And that gives ICC a 12-point lead. ICC going to call a timeout. They have the largest lead of the night at the 2:11 mark remaining. 60-48, Indians on top here inside the Davis Events Center. We'll take a break and be back with the remainder of the game after this. This is ICC basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
Attention all ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club members. You're invited to join us for the ICC Alumni Association and Indian Club Member Appreciation Night on Monday, February the 3rd. Members will get free admission to the Northeast games, food and drink will be provided, and you'll be able to visit with ICC coaches and staff. Not a member of the Alumni Association or Indian Club yet? You're still invited to come be a part of the evening and sign up to become a member that evening as well. For more information or questions, call 662-862-8039. That's 662-862-8039.
60-48, ICC on top, 2:11 remaining in the contest, as a good run here by ICC over the course of the last couple of minutes, led namely by Mariah Holland to get to that double-digit lead. ICC looks to press. Holmes does a good job breaking it, trying to get the ball down low. Nice job of taking it there off the block, turning one step, and putting it up with the right hand is Jalecia Smith and getting it back to a 10-point lead. So lots of things happening in the division tonight. You have this matchup as East Mississippi leads the division at 5-0, ICC at 4-1, Holmes at 3-2. But the big matchup that you're watching tonight, Jim, is between East Mississippi and Northeast, as it's happening up there in Boonville tonight, correct?
Right, that's correct. ICC Indians need a little upset and need Northeast find a way to beat East Mississippi. It will be very difficult.
ICC still does get East Mississippi, and Northeast as well for that matter, but does get East Mississippi here on the floor of the Davis Event Center. So technically control their own destiny. If they win out, they'll have a great opportunity to host that division tournament here in Fulton, as foul goes against Tatiana Norman for ICC, and that will send Jalecia Smith to the charity stripe. First one is rattled around and good. So back to a single-digit lead for ICC, 1:28 remaining in the contest. Smith, the lone sophomore on the club, 2 for 2 off the line. Back to an 8-point lead now for ICC, as we'll see Tatiana Norman come off the floor. Lamaya Pfeiffer subs on. Substitution brought to you by Little Caesars of Fulton. Don't forget to download the Little Caesars app. Go see our good friends there at Little Caesars. As an inbound pass from Mariah Holland goes right at the feet of Zuri Dunlap and goes all the way out of bounds. And Jim, that is how you let games get away from you late, turn it over the basketball and not making free throws.
You're right, Jordan. We're up by 12 about 25 seconds ago. It's down to 8. Holmes throwing the ball in. They're down by 8. Minute 28 left in the fourth period. Holmes out front with the ball.
So we did get a score update there. Adam Gore looked it up. East Mississippi is leading by 1 point over Northeast with about 3 seconds remaining in the game. So a tight one in Boonville. Northeast does have the basketball too. 3 seconds remaining in a 1-point basketball game. So that's a tight one happening up there in Boonville as well. So some good games going around the region here tonight. Inbound pass comes to Bryson Maxwell. Maxwell starts right now, comes back left, pulls up off the elbow, no good, and rebound goes to ICC. So 1:10 remaining, 8 points is the lead for ICC, and it's time for Coach Andrews to make a decision. Do you foul down the stretch here, or do you try to play out the clock? I'm kind of surprised myself, Jim, not to see a foul.
You know, it's already down to 15 seconds. I think you got to play it off now.
Great pick and roll opportunity right there as Tatiana Norman goes right, gets the screen from Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer rolls left, a beautiful bounce pass, and Pfeiffer's able to finish off the left side. Excuse me, I said Pfeiffer. That was Mariah Holland.
Mariah Holland.
Got whistles, and I could not tell what. Adding some time to the clock, so it ran down to 51. They're going to put it back to 53.5 seconds. Back to a 10-point lead, though, is the important number for ICC. As again, Mariah Holland, a beautiful job off that pick and roll opportunity.
Good job by the defense. Forces some clock here right now with a 10-point lead.
Got to score fast here if you're Holmes, and as soon as the ball goes out of bounds, inbounds, you got a foul, you would think. As clock down to 40 seconds on the game clock, 17 on the shot clock. So ICC in a game, Jim, that this has not been a 10-point game all night long.
No,
it's been a lot closer than the scoreboard shows. It's been a dogfight all the way through. Nice job on the defensive side of things on the inbound by Shamaria Overton, making life difficult trying to inbound the basketball there. This clock goes down to 37.6 seconds remaining. Trying to get the ball inbounded to Jemiah Red, and Red just having some trouble getting away from Overton. Inbound this pass. Goes in easily that time to Red. Red dribbles off right side. Pass goes in underneath to Smith. Smith went up and came back down. Ball was tied up. That has to be a jump ball, and it is just that. ICC will have possession.
30 seconds left, Jordan. 10-point lead. We got the ball. Run some clock. make good passes. They're going to have to foul us now.
Yep, 10 points, 30 seconds to go. Coach Andrews elected not to foul on the last possession. We'll see if that philosophy here has changed. As inbound pass goes to Keely Wilson in the corner. Ball is tied up. Lots of contact. Fought through. Now contact on Overton. Pass comes forward to Dunlap. Dunlap in underneath the goal to Mariah Holland, and Holland finishes off the left side block. And, you know, we have the advantage of looking at Coach Robin Porter right here. As the press was broken, the ball came down the floor, and the pass went to the block there to Holland. She just started shaking her head because you could tell she wanted to pull the basketball out and run the clock out. Down underneath 10 seconds we go. 12-point lead for ICC. Ball kicked off into the right side for Jordan Manning. Manning thinking about something to do. She's just going to let it run out, and ICC leads it by 12. They win it by 12. That's the largest lead they had all night, and really the fourth quarter belonged to the Indians.
Good job. Last 4 minutes definitely belong to the Indians. Give Holmes credit. They hung around, but our depth, and we played really good basketball the last 4 minutes of the ball game.
That was the key. It felt to me like the first 36 minutes looked one way, but down the stretch there, the last 4 minutes, led namely by Mariah Holland.
No doubt.
ICC able to put the thing on ice and get away with a 12-point win.
You know, third and fourth quarter, Mariah Holland had 14 points. Led the team tonight with 16 points. Great job getting her ball underneath. Good win for the Lady Indians.
64-52, Lady Indians win. We'll come back after these messages with the Renaissance Bank postgame report. This is ICC basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
Car Hop Classic for just $2.99 is the perfect 1-2 punch of flavor and value. Time that! You need a trainer to help you eat the burger?
Hey, stay out of this. Don't get in my head, man. There's barely room for me in there.
Hurry in and try quarter-pound double cheeseburger or 6-inch Philly plus tots for $2.99.
My mom never let me eat this much cookie dough.
What would she say if she saw you eating this big scoop cookie dough blast?
I don't know. Might ask her.
Don't tell your father.
Oh, naughty, naughty.
Hurry in and scoop up our new cookie dough treats. Try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
64-52, the Lady Indians get back into the win column. After dropping that decision last Thursday night at East Mississippi, they improved to 13-3 on the year, 5-1 in division play. Holmes falls to 7-10 and 3-3 in division play. This is the Renaissance Bank postgame report. Visit RenaissanceBank.com to learn more about the Renaissance Rewards Extra checking account, things like roadside assistance, cell phone insurance, over 400,000 discounts. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, RenaissanceBank.com. As you will watch some of the highlights on your screen here. Those highlights brought to you by Little Caesars. The Little Caesars app, combined with the new pizza portal, has made the fastest pizza in Itawamba County even faster. Located at 1405 South Adams Street. Call ahead at 862-2250. And now we'll go into the game recap. Jim Ingram alongside Jordan Smith here inside the broadcast booth. Game recap brought to you by the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. From strains and sprains to tears and breaks, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi's got you covered. Give them a call at 662-377-BONE or stop by at 499 Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. Jim, we talked a minute ago about the first 36 minutes of this game looking one way. The last 4 minutes of this game look totally different.
Jordan, give our coaching staff credit, our players credit. The last 4 minutes, we took control of the game, took control of the ball, rebounded well, ran our plays down the stretch, extended that 4-point lead, which basically for the first 36 minutes we're up by 3, 4, 5 points. Took control of the game and won it going away by 12.
It's tough to lose a heartbreaker like that overtime matchup was last Thursday night, but to come back onto your home floor, start out slow, but to come out, get yourself back into the win column, I know that's a good feeling for Coach Porter and her ladies.
No doubt about it, especially at Holmes against a good ball club. Holmes has played everybody close this year. Holmes is a good basketball team, and they hung around for 36 minutes. Finally, our depth took control. We played better basketball than they did the last 4 minutes. I was proud of the Lady Indians.
Indians had to do it tonight without Tabria Gandy on the floor. She's out due to an illness, but you can't say enough about the ladies that filled in, specifically Shamaria Overton and Keely Wilson at the point guard spot. But down the stretch, Mariah Holland really had a stranglehold of this game.
No doubt. You just mentioned the three ladies in double figures. Holland had 16, Overton had 10, and Tatiana Norman had 10. They really played well down the stretch, extended the lead for us, and got us that big 12-point win.
Let's take a look by the numbers. Numbers brought to you by the Sonic of Fulton with 1.3 million drink combos and mouth-watering burgers. Why would you go anywhere else? Visit the Sonic in Fulton for exclusive offers and happy hour specials. Jim, let's take a look at those numbers.
Talking about the ICC Lady Women, Maria Holland had 16, Shamara Overton had 10, Tatiana Norman had 10, Dunlap had 5, Watkins had 8, Zaire Burgess had 3, Brown that came off the bench got 2, Keely Wilson had 3, Lamaya Pfeiffer, who played well underneath, had 5 points. Holmes Lady Bulldogs led tonight. Jordan Manning had 12, Jalecia Smith had 10, and Morgan Williams had 10. Gabrielle Bunch played well, had 9 points. Shawanda Gray had 4, and Bryson Maxwell had 6 points, but the Lady Indians found a way to win by 12.
Absolutely. Lady Indians led at 29-26 at the half. They pull away for a 12-point victory and win it tonight 64-52. Jim, star of the game, I believe, has to go to Mariah Holland.
No doubt about it. Mariah Holland was big in the last few minutes of the ball game. As we mentioned, scored 14 or 16 points in the third and fourth quarter. She made great plays the last 3 or 4 minutes of the ball game.
That's the story here from the Davis Event Center for the ladies matchup. If you want to stick around and watch the men's matchup, we'll be back with you on the air at about 7:25. Going to take a little break, come back for the men's matchup between Holmes and ICC. Jim, I enjoyed it with you.
I did too, Jordan. You're doing a great job of using it. It makes it a lot easier when we win the ball game.
Absolutely. Great win for the Indians. They improved, as we mentioned earlier, to 5-1 in division play and 13-3 so far on the year. We'll be back with that right after this. You've been listening to ICC Ladies Basketball on the ICC Sports Network.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.